Oh, what my... Wait, that's not my intro at all. How are my internet family, and welcome back for another chatty video response video, because today I'm just stuff to get off my chest. I guess this is kind of a video response to Zoe's Q&A where she answered questions she'd never answered before, and she touched on the whole topic of online friendships, relationships, but mainly friendships. And I have a lot to say about both of those things, so I'm going to talk at you guys for a little while, and then I'm going to answer some of your more specific questions from Twitter. To start off, I think I should be really honest in that my absolute favourite thing to watch online, and let me know if you agree with me on this, is real friendships, like friends, couples, family members, people who have a real genuine connection, and watching them have fun. I just love that feeling of being a fly on the wall and seeing people just in their element, in their zone, laughing. That is what makes me smile the most. I love watching couples, I love watching friends, I love watching family vlogs. Think of me what you will, I just can't deny that that brings me a lot of joy. However, you may have noticed that I myself kind of have the gookies about sharing my own stuff online, and I'm going to go into that a little bit first. Don't get me wrong, I'm working on it, but I started YouTube in 2013, and I was in a very stable relationship with someone who I intended on being with forever, and so it felt very natural for me to include him in my videos and in photographs that I would share with you guys, because you feel like my internet family. I feel like my online space is just kind of where I come to, I don't know, it's just an extension of me, so it just felt kind of normal. And then we broke up twice while I was online, and the second one stuck, and I had no idea how to address it. I think I like flung it into some random video, like a little brief mention, and people then started, like, that's my first time when I realized my relationships are under a microscope if I put them out there, and people were like filling in gaps about stuff they had no idea about. They were speculating on why we broke up, and all these things that, like, I hadn't shared that much of it, very little compared to what a lot of daily vloggers might share of their relationships. And I still had like so many I still get questions about it now, like a couple of years later. Here's the thing, YouTubers, even the ones that invite us and you into their lives daily, they don't share every single thing, and like there's this pressure, the pressure of knowing people are judging your every move, and they're taking stuff from the little clips that they do see and making of that what they will. That gets to you, and then you have thousands if not millions of people very invested all of a sudden in something that it changes the dynamic a little bit. So I experienced that, and I dealt with it in my own way. It was hard, and then I decided that I wanted to be a bit more guarded, to only invite the public into the inner workings of future relationships when I feel like they're very solid and they're going to be long lasting. I realized that when you date someone else who has a big online following, there's this ginormous elephant in the room out all of a sudden. Like, so I dated someone about a year and a half ago or whatever, and I remember like something he said really affected me a lot. It just affected me. So he was also a YouTuber, and I remember he said something about how I was editing my life. So he commented on the fact that we were together for a full week and there was this convention and stuff, and he kind of threw in this comment into conversation like, I'm really shocked by how you edit your life like that, and you're misrepresenting the reality of what your life is. I find it fascinating. And I know he wasn't trying to be mean or like make me question myself, but I think I got really defensive. I was like, I have every right to keep what I want for me. I don't owe my viewers every aspect of my life, and we were so new, and I didn't feel like I wanted to share that. And the same person commented on the fact that we never took photos together, and he said like, there's no pictures of us, why do you never take selfies or whatever? And it got me really thinking, like, why does that matter? Isn't there plenty of time for us to do that? Do I want to share pictures with you on Instagram? Will that not change things? So much goes through your head when you have a following and there's something like that going on, because I was then thinking, like, if I do share pictures with this person, will people think that we're together for specific reasons, or like interpret my intentions or his intentions in a certain way? And then I was like, all his followers will be sizing me up and kind of talking about why we're together and what we look like together and all the, and, you know, comparing me to the last girl. And I wasn't ready for that, and I didn't want it. I guess I wanted to tell you guys that, like, having hundreds of thousands of followers online makes you hella paranoid about other people's intentions for wanting to be with you, and your own, how your intentions are interpreted by other people you're trying to befriend or that you might want to date. You guys know, for example, that I didn't really talk about me and Toby Turner, who I was seeing for quite a while, until after a lot of horrible stuff happened and accusations were made, and I wanted to clear up that he hadn't done anything to me and stuff. But, you know, that ended really badly, and I did have a little vent on Snapchat one day about it and stuff, but while we were together I was just referring to him as my roommate, and, you know, some people speculated, but I kind of was perfectly happy keeping that private. But I knew he wanted to do collab videos and stuff, so, and I didn't feel very secure with him, so I held off, and I'm glad I held off. I was keeping bubble wrap around myself, you know. A new relationship is hard enough. You guys know this. A new relationship is complicated and difficult and exciting and overwhelming, and then add on loads and loads of people looking at your every online interaction and every photo. They're like, the way they're positioned here, like one of them, their body language, you can tell. It just becomes so kind of all this stuff that has nothing to do with a relationship suddenly affects it and shapes it when people's perceptions become so intertwined with it. I don't know, like, it's just not for me. That's why I would want to be rock solid with any person before introducing them to you guys, and that's why I'll talk about dating on here and stuff, but I never really like tell you guys who I'm dating, or you don't see them because they haven't been that serious. But then when you've got something strong, people's opinions of it matter a lot less, and it just becomes very natural to include them in what you're doing. Because like your partner becomes like a limb, the same way my dad is like a limb, my cats are like a limb, and it's natural to share that. So I do get it, and I love when people give me a glimpse into their relationship together. But yeah, friendships online, I totally get what Zoe was talking about with the paranoia you feel when there's a lot of eyes on you and on your friendships. I definitely get paranoid that people won't want to be my friend or date me or whatever in case I like whip out the camera or I whip out Snapchat while we're out having a coffee, and they'll get all paranoid about that because like I do have friends who are separate from the internet, and they find it really weird and bizarre that like people will recognize me when we're out shopping, or I get paranoid of what people will think when I'm trying to befriend them or spark up a connection with them. If they also have a following, I never want it to be interpreted that I am trying to social climb, which is something that a lot of people throw around, and I also get worried that other people are doing that to me. I don't know if you'd say this is hypocritical, but it's like some people have definitely, I know they've tried to be friends with me for the wrong reasons. It's gotten back to me via other people, or like I just know like they'll start asking me for favors, or it just doesn't feel like they want to be friends with me. They want to be friends to gain something or to manipulate me in a way, you know? And I think because I perceive other people that way sometimes, I get paranoid that other people will ever think that of me, you know? None of that stuff should ever enter into a friendship, because like we're friends with people, we need friends, we're friends with people for very good reasons. So like some friends we can just be silly with them and they relieve us of that kind of pressure of having to appear like a sensible adult all day. We can just take off that mask and just be like children with them again. And then other friends are great at listening and reflecting back at you the reality of a situation that you're trying to work through in your feckin' brain. And then some friends are just great collaborators and they can help you do things that you couldn't do on your own without them, you know? Like, there's so many good reasons to be friends with someone. But like when it's all take and no give, that's when a friendship is like off balance, and it can be so easy to fall into those friendships when there's like viewers and all that kind of crap involved in it. It's so important for the friendship to be real. All that stuff is okay and doesn't matter and doesn't cross people's minds when the friendship is real. And like I can count my like real, genuine, solid friendships probably on one hand, maybe two. Most of them are YouTubers. And like this is another thing, like people assume so much about my friendships that it makes me paranoid. Like, no, we don't talk every single day on Skype or whatever. Like, YouTubers are some of the busiest people in the world, but I'll have people speculate about that I've fallen out with someone if I haven't tweeted them back, or if we haven't put up a picture on Instagram in a certain amount of time. It's like they're not friends anymore, or they haven't collabed in over a year. It's like, bitch, we just had a sleepover and we were just talking in DMs like 5 minutes ago. What do you know about us? Like, sure, there are probably working friendships on YouTube, and like I have some people who they're great acquaintances and we have a lot of really good ideas for videos and stuff like that, and we'll mostly talk when it's to do with filming or something like that. But then I have other friends that I have filmed with them and stuff, but most of the time when we hang out, we're just chilling. We just want to vent to each other about all the stuff that we experience, that they, like, we understand, and just be normal real life friends. We don't feel the pressure to have to tweet about it or to have to Snapchat it. But then if someone does do that, there's no weirdness about it. Like, I know I'm with a real friend. If I want to take a photo of us all and put it on Instagram, I know that they're not going to think that they have to do it as well, or that, like, you know, if I talk about someone's book, I'm not going to be like, why aren't you talking about my book though? It's not like that. It's because it's a real friendship. It's not about, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's genuine kind of being there for each other in different ways and stuff. Alfie said in a vlog recently, that's very true. Alfie's Zoe's boyfriend, but he said about how the only thing that YouTubers really have in common is the fact that they all upload onto the same website. And like, when you think about it, it's so true. Like in school, not everyone is best friends with everyone else. Your parents in their office, like, they're not besties with every single person in the company, you know? So the fact that certain YouTubers aren't friends and don't hang out and don't get on is not like gossip or weird, or it's just completely normal. That's the way the world is. Like, there's certain people who, when I started YouTube or whatever, like, I was thinking, we have so much in common and I love their videos, so we'd make the bestest of friends. And I had to slowly realize that, like, no, because then if I meet certain people from YouTube at conventions, there's this awkward silence of like, or trying to fill up, you know, small talk. I hate small talk. I just want to get to the juicy core of whoever I'm talking to. But yeah, like that kind of awkwardness where it's forced. That's happened between me and people who you'd think I would be like best friends with because we've loads in common. But no, like some of my best friends, we make totally different content and we like so many different random things that the other person doesn't like. What bonds us usually is humor. Like if we find the same things funny, there's just some kind of synergy you feel with certain people where you're so relaxed in their company, you can sit in silence and it's not awkward and uncomfortable. That's, for me, that's when I know I'm with a person I want to keep around. But what I wanted to add to what Alfie said is that I think that there are certain things that does bond YouTubers as well, in that like a lot of us experience the same stuff with, like, say, the media guessing what we earn, or trolls making up rumors about us or impersonating us, you know, all the weird things that YouTubers experience, and like bloggers and internet people in general. Those things are stuff that like not many people can relate to at all, and I think that's why you see so many people banding together. And this is another thing, I hate when people talk about cliques and accuse people of being in a clique, because I've been around these people. It's not like that. And I get accused of being in a clique and having cliques where we keep people out and we only hang out with each other and we'll only take pictures together. It's not like that. Like, you naturally gravitate toward people you're comfortable with, people that you know, people that you trust. And a lot of these YouTubers who you see, like, they're big YouTubers and they'll always do stuff together, a lot of them weren't big when they met. Like, they grew up together. And the same with me and a lot of my friends. It's not a case of you can't get into the group, like, we're keeping you at arm's length for a reason. It's nothing like that. Just certain groups of people mesh really well and others don't. And it takes a lot to get close enough to a new person to the point that you would invite them to a group sleepover. So, like, I hang out a lot with a certain group of YouTubers and we all have a lot of shared memories and shared experiences, and there's certain things we talk about that we don't talk about with other people. So if other people were to be at, say, one of our little parties, we call them sexual liberation parties just because we get real in these parties. And if we were to bring new people to those, we'd have to, like, bear a lot of, like, guts and souls to these new people, and that's hard. But yeah, it's not a cliquey situation. And you know, you see a lot of these people will hang out, they might not talk for a few weeks, guys. I guess I just think people should stop analysing online relationships and, like, filling in the blanks and making a big thing out of absolutely nothing. It's wasted energy, and I think if people didn't do that, it would make people like me a bit more comfortable with sharing stuff, because I do love sharing friendships and things like that. And you know, there are people who I've fallen out with or drifted apart from, and I don't really even know why. Like, there's some people who we just slowly stop talking and hanging out, and I don't even know why. So I don't know how you guys sometimes profess to know what that's about. When, like, I know you're sitting there having experienced that yourself. It's just a normal part of life. And then there are people who I've even collabed with who I had a falling out with, and there's good reason, and you know, I cut them out and it's nobody's business. But I don't think that means that you guys can't enjoy, like, old videos we did together and stuff. Think of, like, ABBA. You know, that was a band where there was two married couples and they eventually all broke up with each other, but you can still listen to all the songs that they wrote when they were together and in love, and they're great songs. Just trying to say that, like, if couples break up on the internet or if friendships fall apart, you know, try and not take it so personally, and, like, see the people behind the entertainer. Like, see that these are just human beings who kind of shared stuff without really thinking about consequences, because we shouldn't, like, I want to stop doing that. I want to stop kind of overthinking and second guessing every single thing. I just want to go with it. Like, if I feel like I'm really connecting with someone, I want to go with it and have fun. And if we feel like sharing that in a video, or if we feel like kind of Snapchatting together, that's fine. And if not, then that doesn't mean that, I don't know, it's not inviting you guys to analyze why, you know? Just enjoy videos for what they are and don't think about all the stuff that you don't know about, because you don't even know someone really until you live with them. Like, I dated someone for 6 years, and after 6 years I was like, I really don't know you much at all, and I kind of don't like you as much as I thought I did. So yeah, I wanted to talk about all that to try and break down the walls that I have built up about all this kind of stuff. It'll probably take a long time, and I'm still obviously going to totally be questioning myself in new situations with, like, people I date or new friends or whatever, because yeah, like, I don't like collabing with people I'm not friends with, and I want you guys to know that anytime you see me doing videos with someone, it's because we get on. And at the same time, there's people I do get on with who I haven't done videos with, and it's just, it doesn't mean, like, anything, because I don't know, like, I don't owe people total knowledge into my world. There's so much of my life you guys don't know about. Like, I have even filmed videos in certain circumstances and I've kept so much of what's actually going on out of it. For example, I did a food diary one time, and let's just say the full story behind that food diary will never, ever, ever, ever grace the ears of pretty much most human beings on this planet. I still took advantage of the situation to make a pretty looking video that a lot of you guys enjoyed. So it's okay. Okay, so I just want to answer some of you guys' more general questions. John, who is a lovely YouTuber who I met recently at a party, he said, do you think initiating friendships online are harder because people with many followers / subscribers are predisposed to considering their social following as a factor as to why people may be trying to achieve their friendship? Absolutely. And I know that sounds really shit, but when you've gone through like 200 people seeming like they want to be friends with you and then just kind of asking you to share your stuff or whatever, or asking you for a collab in a really weird way, like collabs just naturally happen and people naturally become friends through interaction online, and like some people are better at making friends than other people. That's the sad fact of life. And I'm very sociable. I love making new friends, like friends as in acquaintances, and obviously not like best friends who I'll spill my soul to, but just pals who I'll dance with at parties, you know. I'm pretty good at that. But no, as I said, there is definitely kind of an awareness around that, and it sucks. I hate it. There's some people who I just know they want to be my friend for me. I know that they have no expectation of me. They just want to get to know me, and I feel like I can feel that out pretty quick. Like your intuition and your gut feeling about people is usually pretty accurate. For example, I quite like you and I'd love to be friends with you because I met you at a party and we didn't even know each other was YouTubers. That's my favourite thing. Harriet said, what's your opinion on parents who don't agree with their teenagers having internet friends? I get their concern. It can be quite dangerous to meet strangers off the internet, but at the same time, that's the world we live in now. Most of my friends that I've ever become close to, I've met online, and there is a safe way to go about it. Like if you have this person on Facebook and they have like hundreds of friends of their own family, and you know, if you have a proper track record of the person online, there's not much need to worry, like especially if you first meet up with them in a public setting. So, you know, out in a very public area and you take someone along with you, maybe you have a lot of exchanges before that as well, like Skype and things like that. If I had kids, I'd be terrified of them going to meet a total stranger. But then I know when I was a teenager, I got really mad when my parents wouldn't let me go and meet up with people who I met through social media when social media was first a thing. I would say be careful with the likes of Tinder and stuff, because I've heard some horror stories. But yeah, just show your parents just what I just said. There are ways to be safe about who you choose to meet up with online. Nav said, how are you finding the online dating thing? Do you prefer it to going out and meeting someone? No, I hate it. I've pretty much given up, kind of. Yeah, like, I don't know. I prefer when something naturally happens with a friend, or if I'm at a party or an event, or I'm out somewhere and I catch eyes with someone and we've all that goopy eye contact, and or we get into a conversation and realize we have that little spark thing. I like when that happens better. I just can't force it with someone who's like me, desperately trying to find someone and then judging people by pictures. It kind of sucks. I should do a video update about it. Inactive asked, how do we even flirt online? How does one make someone online understand how they feel towards them? I think I'm pretty crap at flirting online because I kind of talk to everyone the same. But I guess if you're trying to flirt, just maybe increase the amount of interaction between you two. See if they reciprocate, and then if they don't really reciprocate, just pull back, because then they're probably not that into you, like the movie. Tony said, do friendships that began online for you differ from your other friendships in any way? For example, do you feel closer to online friends? Sorry, I'm lower down again. No, I think if they started online and then became like a completely regular friendship, they're no different. They're no different at all. I actually feel like sometimes a connection you can have with someone online can be more intense than when they're sitting right in front of you. Is that really weird? Like, it's maybe a generational thing, but I feel like all of us have gotten so used to interacting through text and through like Skype and phone calls or whatever it is, and like sometimes, I don't know, I love my online friends, even the online friends who haven't really become real life friends. I love the little thing that you feel like you have between you and them. Christina said, do you think growing apart is inevitable for many online relationships and friendships? Kind of. It's the same as in real life. Like, a lot of people grow apart just with time, because who you are like at 20 is not the same as who you are at 25, not the same as who you are at 30, and you end up wanting different things, living in different places, running in different circles. So totally. JW90 asked me thoughts on long distance relations, whether they be in another part of the country or another part of the world. I used to be so against long distance relationships. I feel like I prefer having someone there, you know, but in saying that, I now feel like because I'm so busy and I've experienced long distance stuff, that it makes the time you spend with that person so special. Like so precious, every moment of it. So pure, so magic. So yeah, I'm not against it. Also, people with accents are just so bloody attractive. I can't. Tarabella asked, what advice would you give to maintain online friendships? And this can be so hard. Like, I need to do a whole other video about how lonely I am. Because the more busy your friends are as well, like especially when it's like YouTube friends, that's mostly what I'm talking about, the harder it is to maintain. But I think just setting aside time to have little interactions, like in DMs, like private messaging, Skype calls, liking their tweets, watching each other's videos. But then for non-YouTubers, I think the same, like just kind of make an effort. And it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't even have to be every week. Just make sure that the times that you do take to talk to them, you are like completely there and present in the moment and listening to them. And yeah. It's hard though. I don't really have like a concrete answer to that because I struggle big time. Chelsea Cope said, is there any pressure when in an online relationship? Yeah, like as I talked about all that stuff, but then also the pressure to kind of hold your shit together if you're going through a rough patch or if you're having a fight. You know the way a lot of couples, and I've been there, like where you're like, we're done, I'm never speaking to you again, it's over. And when you're online, it's so easy to just go and vent on social media and like make it very fucking obvious what's going on, even though you're going to sort it out the next day or the following week, and then all your viewers have to go through this roller coaster of emotions. So there's pressure to hold your shit together when in fact you're just a normal human being who reacts the exact same to problems in a relationship the way like everyone else reacts and goes batshit mad. Then this guy said, do you value your online interaction more, less, or the same as your face-to-face interaction? I think I value my face-to-face interaction a lot more. But in saying that, this new world that we're all in, it's so different, and I feel bad for all of us. We're having to adapt to something that just didn't exist for humans before. And I think we're doing as good as we can, really. Like, online interactions is just a regular daily thing now. And we should value them. We should, if someone takes the time to message us, or like, you know, for me, like if my viewers write a comment, or I get a sweet little Instagram comment off someone I have a crush on, all those little things matter, you know. It's someone making an effort to connect with you in a way. So I value all of them. So that was that. I hope you gained something from this little ranty. I hope it wasn't ranty, just a little chat. Girl is sitting here with her tummy rumbling, so I'm gonna go and get myself some carbonara, baby. So do leave a comment down below, please. Let me know your thoughts on all of this stuff. I would love to read your comments. I find your input fascinating, and I will link the video I'm responding to by Zoella down in the description box, so go over there after this, and I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye.